Women can't stop thinking about are the ones who hold back. The ones who don't seem desperate for attention, the ones who don't make her the prize because they already see themselves as the prize. This video is about flipping your mindset from how do I impress her to how do I live my life so fully that she wants to impress me. Women are wired to respect men who have standards, who have direction, and who don't bend just to get validation. The less you try to prove yourself, the more mysterious and magnetic you become. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand exactly why indifference is so powerful, why women chase men who don't chase them, and how to build that energy into your own life without being fake, manipulative, or playing childish games. This isn't about ignoring women. It's about mastering yourself, setting boundaries, and radiating confidence in a way that naturally pulls them in. Stay locked in, because this might be the most important lesson you'll ever learn about women and attraction. 1. Why chasing kills attraction. Why chasing kills attraction. Instantly. Let's break down why chasing a woman is the fastest way to make her lose interest in you. Most guys are taught from a young age that persistence is the key to winning a woman's heart. Movies show men chasing relentlessly, writing love letters, standing in the rain, or buying expensive gifts until she finally gives in. But in real life, this doesn't create attraction, it destroys it. Here's the reality. When you chase, you communicate one very powerful message. You are the prize, and I am desperate to win you over. Women pick up on this immediately. The more you pursue, the more she feels like she's the one in control. And let's be clear, women are biologically wired to be attracted to strength, confidence, and leadership. Chasing signals the opposite. Think about it like this. If you constantly blowing up her phone, always asking when you'll see her, rearranging your schedule to fit hers, or showering her with compliments she hasn't earned. What you're really saying is, you're more important than me. That's not attractive. It's weak. A man who knows his value doesn't have to prove himself through constant pursuit. Now, here's the twist most men don't understand. When you stop chasing, that's when she starts thinking about you. Women crave mystery and challenge. If you hand yourself over on a silver platter, there's no excitement, no tension, no curiosity. But when you live your life, focus on your goals, and treat her as an addition to your world instead of the center of it, she feels that energy shift. Suddenly, you're the man she can't stop wondering about. Take a real-life example. Picture two guys. One is texting her good morning every single day, planning every date, and constantly checking if she's mad at him. The other guy. He texts occasionally, keeps conversations short and playful, and seems more focused on his own grind than her validation. Which one do you think she'll obsess over? Always the second guy. Why? Because women don't value what they don't have to work for. Here's the controversial truth. The chase should never come from you. It should come from her. A woman is wired to test, to see if she can pull you off your path, to find out if you'll crumble just to win her approval. If you're always running after her, she knows you've already failed that test. But if you refuse to chase, you show her that your life, your mission, and your self-respect come first. That's what creates attraction. So stop running after women. The man who chases loses power. The man who stands firm, who lets her come to him, is the one who wins. The power of not caring what she thinks. 2. The power of not caring what she thinks. One of the biggest shields. If a man can make in his dating life is learning not to care what a woman thinks about him. Most men live in fear of women's judgment. They're constantly asking themselves, did I text her the right thing? Did I come off too strong? Did I say something that might have turned her off? This mindset is a trap, and it shows instantly. Women can smell it, and it kills attraction. Let's put this into a simple everyday scenario. Imagine you're out at a restaurant on a first date. The waiter brings the wrong order. Most men in this situation might look at the woman and hesitate. Should I speak up, or will she think I'm being rude? So they just stay quiet, eat something they didn't even want, all because they're afraid of how she might perceive them. That hesitation tells her everything. You're not comfortable standing up for yourself. You're more worried about her opinion than your own self-respect. Now picture the opposite. The waiter brings the wrong meal, and without hesitation you calmly say, "Excuse me, this isn't what I ordered. Could you bring the right one?" You're not rude. You're not trying to impress her. You're simply handling the situation with confidence. In that moment, she sees that you value yourself enough to speak up. She feels safe around you because you're a man who can lead, make decisions, and act without needing her approval. That's the power of not caring what she thinks. It's not about being disrespectful or arrogant. It's about living by your standards, not adjusting yourself like a puppet just to win her over. When you stop filtering every move through the question, "Will she like this?" you start showing up as your authentic self. And women are drawn to authenticity like a magnet. Here's the part most guys miss. The more you try to impress a woman, the less impressed she is. Women don't want perfection. They don't want a man who agrees with everything they say, laughs at every joke, and hides every opinion that might spark conflict. They want a man who is grounded enough to speak his mind, even if she doesn't like it. Think about men who are admired in daily life. The boss who doesn't flinch when someone challenges him. The athlete who performs under pressure regardless of criticism. The friend who says what everyone else is afraid to say. These men stand out because they aren't ruled by outside approval, and in dating, the same rule applies. The moment you let go of her opinion, you free yourself. You stop overthinking. You stop playing defense. You start living by your truth. That's when she looks at you differently. That's when she starts respecting you. So remember this. A man who doesn't care what she thinks is a man she can't stop thinking about. Women respect men they can't control. 3. Women respect men they can't control. Here's where a lot of men get it twisted. They think being agreeable, soft, and easy to manage will make women love them more. They believe if they just go along with whatever she says, she'll see them as loyal and dependable. But the opposite is true. A woman doesn't respect a man she can control. She might like him, she might use him, but deep down she doesn't admire him. And if there's no respect, there will never be lasting attraction. This might sound controversial, but let's be real. Women test men constantly, not because they're evil or manipulative, but because they're wired to see what kind of man they're dealing with. Can she bend you to her will? Can she push your boundaries and watch you fold? If she can, she won't see you as strong, she'll see you as weak. And weakness is the fastest way to kill her desire for you. Here's a real-world example. Imagine she tells you she doesn't like your friends and suddenly you stop hanging out with them just to keep her happy. At first, she might smile and thank you, but deep down you just lost points. Why? Because she learned you're willing to sacrifice your own life, your own people, just to keep her comfortable. She didn't care. In respect, she gained control, and control always breeds boredom. On the flip side, picture a man who hears the same complaint. But instead of folding, he calmly says, "I value my friends, and they've been in my life long before you. You don't have to like them, but I won't cut them off." That response might frustrate her in the moment, but it earns something far more powerful. Respect. She knows this man has a backbone. She knows he won't throw away his life just to please her. The truth most guys don't want to hear is this: the more she can control you, the less she respects you. Women are naturally drawn to men who set the tone, who lead, who won't budge just because she pouts or complains. This doesn't mean being harsh or domineering. It means being firm about who you are and what you stand for. If she can dictate how you dress, who you spend time with, how you spend your money, or what you do with your free time, she might stay with you for convenience, but she'll never look at you with admiration. The men women fantasize about, the ones they can't forget, are the ones they can't control. So ask yourself this: are you her man, or are you her puppet? If you want her respect, you need to stop letting her pull the strings, because once she knows she can't control you, that's when she truly sees you as a man worth following. 4. Scarcity makes you irresistible. Scarcity makes you irresistible. One of the most powerful forces in attraction is scarcity. People value what they can't easily have, and women are no different. The moment you become too available, too easy, too predictable, you lose the magnetic pull that makes her curious about you. Scarcity is not about playing games. It's about living a life where your time and energy are valuable, and when something is valuable, it's naturally scarce. Think about luxury goods. Why do people pay thousands of dollars for a rare watch, limited edition shoes, or a car that only a handful of people own? It's not just the product, it's the fact that not everyone can get their hands on it. The rarity creates desire. Now, apply that same principle to your life as a man. If you're always texting back instantly, always free whenever she wants, always bending your schedule to fit hers, you're not scarce, you're abundant, and abundant things get overlooked. Here's an everyday example. Imagine two guys she's interested in. One is always texting her, liking all her pictures, and constantly checking in to see what she's doing. The other guy, he's busy most of the time. He responds when he can. He has hobbies, a career, a purpose that demands his attention. He's not ignoring her, he's just not available at the snap of a finger. Who do you think she'll find herself thinking about more? Always the second guy. His time feels rare, and because of that, it feels valuable. Scarcity also builds tension, and tension builds attraction. When you're not always around, she wonders, what's he doing? Who is he with? Why isn't he chasing me like other guys do? That uncertainty is what makes her more invested. She starts to chase because she wants access to something not easily available. Now, here's where most men get it wrong. They think scarcity means ignoring her completely or acting cold. That's not it. Scarcity means you're selective. You're not just handing out your time and attention to anyone who asks. You reserve it for what truly matters. A man with ambition, goals, and standards naturally creates scarcity because his life is full. He doesn't need to fake it. He genuinely doesn't have the time to sit around waiting for her texts. The lesson is simple. Value yourself first, and she will value you. If your time is always on sale, she'll treat it like it's cheap. But if your time is rare, if being with you feels like a privilege, she'll see you as a man worth chasing. Scarcity makes you irresistible, not because you're withholding affection, but because you live a life that makes your presence meaningful. That's the difference between a man she forgets and a man she can't get out of her head. Attention is her drug. Stop being the supplier. 5. Attention is her drug. Stop being the supplier. If there's one thing you need to understand about women, it's this. Attention is their oxygen. It fuels them, it validates them, and it drives their behavior. Social media proves it. Millions of likes, comments, and DMs flood their profiles every single day. And here's the bold truth. The man who gives away his attention for free is no different from every other guy lined up outside her door. Attention is her drug. The more you supply it, the more she consumes without valuing it. When you constantly text her, comment on her looks, or check in on her every move, you're handing over something priceless without making her earn it. And just like any addict, once she gets an unlimited supply, she stops appreciating it. Now, think about the men women truly chase. They don't spend their time flooding her with compliments or begging for her attention. Instead, they ration it. They give just enough to spark her curiosity, but never so much that she feels satisfied. That scarcity of attention makes her crave more because she can't get it whenever she wants. Here's a scenario. Two men are interested in the same woman. The first man sends her good morning texts every day, likes every photo, and replies instantly to every message. The second man, he only replies when he has time. He might compliment her once in a while, but most of the time he's focused on his own grind. Who does she obsess over? It's always the second man. Why? Because his attention feels earned, not handed out like a free sample. The problem is, most guys think giving her constant attention will make her like them more. But the opposite is true. When you oversupply, you kill the demand. Women want to feel like they've earned a man's focus. If it's too easy, they don't value it. If it's rare, they'll go out of their way to chase it. You have to start thinking of your attention like money. Would you hand out cash to every stranger on the street? Of course not. Then why give away your focus, your time, your energy to a woman who hasn't earned it? The man who values his attention forces her to respect it. And here's the kicker. When you stop being the constant supplier, she feels the withdrawal. That's when she reaches out more, tries harder, and invests in you. Because suddenly, your attention isn't just attention, it's a reward. So cut off the endless supply. Stop being the drug dealer of validation. A man's attention is the most powerful currency in dating, and only the men who protect it end up in control. 6. The man with purpose always wins. The man with purpose always wins. If there's one trait that separates men women respect from men women use, it's purpose. A man with purpose doesn't orbit around a woman, he orbits around his mission. He has a vision for his life, a standard he lives by, and goals he refuses to compromise. And here's the secret. Women are naturally drawn to that energy because it's rare. When a man lacks purpose, he makes the woman his purpose. His life becomes about keeping her happy, texting her non-stop, waiting for her approval before making decisions. At first, she might enjoy the attention, but deep down she loses respect. Why? Because no woman wants to be with a man whose only direction in life is her. She wants to join a man's path, not become his path. Think about it in practical terms. Imagine two men. The first man spends most of his time scrolling, playing games, or waiting for her to decide what they'll do this weekend. The second man is building his business, hitting the gym, and working toward goals that excite him. If she wants to see him, she has to fit into his schedule, not the other way around. Which one will she chase harder? Always the second man. His purpose makes him magnetic. Purpose also creates confidence. When you know where you are going, you don't need constant validation. You're not shaken by rejection, ghosting, or small tests women throw your way. You're grounded because your mission is bigger than her opinion, and that confidence is what keeps her hooked. She knows you're not just some random guy wasting time. You're a man who's going somewhere. Here's the part most men overlook. Women are not impressed by words. They're impressed by direction. You can tell her you're ambitious all day long, but if she sees you wasting time, lacking focus, or constantly available, she won't believe it. On the other hand, when she sees you grinding, prioritizing your goals, and sometimes even telling her, "I can't hang out tonight, I've got work to do," that's when she feels your strength. That's when respect grows. A man with purpose doesn't fear losing a woman because he knows his mission matters more. Ironically, that's what makes her want him even more. She realizes she can't fully control his attention because his life is bigger than her, and nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man she can't fully consume. So remember this. Looks fade. Money can come and go. Charm wears thin. But a man with purpose never loses value. He always wins because he's not chasing women, he's chasing greatness, and women will always chase the man who is chasing something greater than them. When you pull back, she chases harder. 7. When you pull back, she chases harder. One of the most counterintuitive truths in dating is this. When you pull back, women almost always chase harder. It doesn't matter how confident she seems, how many options she has, or how much she pretends not to care. The moment she feels your attention slipping away, something inside her flips. You've seen this dynamic play out in countless movies. Take the classic film Grease. Remember when Sandy was head over heels for Danny, but he acted distant and cool, focused more on his friends and reputation than chasing after her. She spent the entire movie trying to win his attention back. That's not just a story, that's psychology, the MoMA. And a woman feels like she's losing a man she desires. Her competitive instincts kick in. Suddenly, she wants to prove she's worth his time. Now let's put it in real life. Imagine you've been texting a woman consistently. She enjoys the attention, but she's not prioritizing you. She takes hours to respond, cancels plans, or keeps you on the back burner. Most men panic here. They start chasing harder, sending more messages, begging for her time. That's the kiss of death. She feels no urgency because she knows you're not going anywhere. But when you pull back, when you stop initiating, when you focus on yourself, when you let her feel your absence, that's when she starts to notice. She wonders, why isn't he texting me anymore? Did he lose interest? Is he seeing someone else? That uncertainty lights a fire inside her. She goes from taking you for granted to fighting for your attention. Here's the key. Pulling back isn't about playing games. It's about shifting the power dynamic. It shows her that your world doesn't revolve around her, that you're not afraid of losing her, and that your time has value. Women respect men who can walk away because walking away proves strength. Another great example is in The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort never begged for his wife's validation. In fact, when she pulled back or tested him, he doubled down on his mission and lifestyle. That independence made him even more magnetic because she couldn't fully control him. The chase was built into the dynamic. Here's the lesson. When you smother her with attention, she relaxes. When you create distance, she reacts. The absence of your attention creates tension, and tension creates attraction. So, don't fear pulling back. Let her feel the gap. Let her wonder. Let her chase. Because the man who's not afraid to step back is always the man she'll step forward to pursue. At the end of the day, women don't fall. Conclusion for the man who chases, begs, or bends. She falls for the man who knows his value. When you stop over-investing, when you set boundaries, when you live with purpose, you flip the script. You become the prize. Women are wired to respect, admire, and pursue men they can't fully control. So remember this. Pull back when necessary. Protect your attention, and never make her your mission. Do that, and you'll watch her chase you harder than you ever chased her.